Please let me in.
The world ended. Didn't you get the memo?
You said.
Come on, guys, let's go for a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
So fetch. What is fetch? Oh, it's like slang from England.
I'm Charlotte Blackwood.
I'm Maverick.
Maverick? Does your mother not like you or something?
Chunk is dead. Don't say that. Never say that. Goonies never say die.
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on The Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
Yeah, we'll take the time to do that in a second. We've got Dan in with us. John's out for the week. Dan, how you doing? How are things going with the show? We're going to run out of time. Isn't it the 3rd? So it's like you got 10 days or so.
So this week, next week. So yeah, that's 4 rehearsals. And so we're getting down to the wire, and it's going well.
Throw it out there. The show again. You're 10 days out. Are you guys into costumes already? Have you done the whole thing blocked out? People still using the book to remember the script, to remember their lines? Where you at?
We're just at the point of getting away from that. There's a couple of spots where someone needs to carry a script with them, but that's pretty rare. It's costumes, actually. It's kind of fun because costumes start. We're not wearing them this week, but we're getting our costume fittings.
Okay.
Because you usually don't put on costumes till like the last 2 or 3 rehearsals. That's pretty normal for plays like this because they don't want you to mess them up. Yeah, it's like they want to know it fits. They want to know it looks okay, but it's So yeah, it's a fun process. This is always the point where you start to think, "Oh my God, how could we ever put a show together? How can this ever become a show?" Because
give us some background though, quick, because I don't know. It's been a million years since I was in, and my community back in the day was pretty small. Is it still that poor lady that knows how to run a sewing machine making everyone's costumes, or do you go out? Do these theaters go buy, kind of a set thing and she just alters them? Or is this kind of from scratch? Anybody got an old hat? I need a hat. Is that kind of that thing? Or what is it in this?
A little bit of both for for a true community theater, which is all amateur. They sometimes, often will get a paid costumer, but they're not paid a lot.
Yeah.
This theater, since it's kind of semi-professional, so we get paid a small stipend. For it. The costumer is a paid job, so they are a professional costumer, but usually it's something that they do on the side because we're still a smaller group. But so it's a little bit of both. They will go out and rent or buy some. Usually it's renting, but they don't like rent an entire show. But they come up with their own ideas. Like supposedly I am going to have 1 or more tattoos on my head. So
nice.
I'm looking forward to that. So I told them up front, says, as long as you don't make me wear a wig, I am a blank canvas to do whatever you want to with.
How about just like stage fixings back in the day again? Anybody know how to use a hammer? We could use people on Saturday. And is it that kind of thing, or is some guy building the set? No.
This is you got people who know what they're doing.
Okay.
Thankfully, community theater shows, yes, they say, "Hey, this weekend we're building. Who can come in and help us out?
If you can paint or anything, please show up."
Yeah, exactly. But this one is no. There's stay away from it.
Okay.
Stay, which I don't mind, since I am not a carpentry adjacent person. I am that. I admit that fully. I admit that right up front. So that is not one of my strengths. I can do techie stuff. But I can't.
Well, and then back to the tech. Then is there a sound tech guy for that community? Understands the audio video guy back in the day? The AV kid who can run a fiche machine got to run all the audio. Is that what happens there as well? Or do you have professional? Oh,
pretty much. Yeah,
really?
Pretty much. There's someone who puts it all who kind of builds it all together. Puts the light cues and all that, and then often it's the stage manager or someone that's working directly with them that will actually, because now it's all electronic. Now it's just push a button. It's all computerized, so it's like push a button and the lighting and the lighting changes. See,
but you make that sound like that's easier for a guy like me. That's just more intimidating. Back in the day, you could just flip switch 1 and 3 up, and now you got a computer program something. So I'm not saying that's any easier. You just need more computer nerdy guys, and then you can make it work.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, which I am all for. You know that.
I know.
The more.
We're all just different. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make it easier just because their computers here.
So,
all right.
So yes, Sweetie Todd, Gremlin Theater, October 3rd. So,
and where do we get the Gremlin Theater? Is where you can get the tickets?
So theater55.org with theater spelled the British way.
All right.
T-R-E, theatre.
Let's talk some sports because it is the sports
deal.
Anything
happened this weekend?
What a fun ball game to sit in the garage. I was at an Abbey all weekend. That's a long story, but I was at an Abbey for my wife's in-laws Catholic reunion. Good times. I could not wait to leave Sunday morning at 7:00 so I could be home. It was a 4-hour ride to watch the game in my garage, lit a cigar, and I don't know, from the very first getting the ball, going all the way down to score, to everything else, I don't know that it could have went better. How much fun was that Viking game? Wow.
That was fun. I still insist that I thought the first half was ugly. It was the ugliest 28-point lead?
Yeah. Yes.
Or whatever, 20, 30, 30 point, whatever it was, point lead, halftime lead I've ever seen. And it's not that they were lucky, but it was just, nobody was, after the first and the very last drive before halftime, the Vikings offense was just looking kind of
Yeah.
I mean, they had, they had 39 yards passing before that final. Yeah, but before that desperation drive at the half, which then that's where that hit me that okay, this is it. Yeah. It's over. It's when they could just score that easily when they really want to turn it on. So what did you think of Carson?
I think JJ can learn a lot watching what he did. Now he made a couple of really weird mistakes in that he got sacked by holding the ball for 5-10 seconds. He took snacks with him at one point, and he dropped back so far, and he just waiting, and then he gets sacked. So he had a couple of sacks I thought were absolutely ludicrous to take. He could have thrown the ball out of bounds. Let's just move on. But on the other hand, he really managed the game well. We didn't throw much downfield. It was the 2-3 second thing. Who's going to be my guy? I think JJ can learn from it. Wentz did nothing wrong. I mean, it's a football game. You're going to get sacked. He did nothing wrong, managed the game. And I even take, we had 2 touchdowns on the defense. We'll talk about that. You take those out of there. This is still a very convincing win if the defense just keeps them down to 10. We're still winning by 24-10. This was an all-around just great flipping ball game. And what's the kid's name? Rogers. Yeah. We needed a cornerback. Did we not get a superstar cornerback? Defensive player of the week. There's no person has had that kind of defensive day in NFL history, in my opinion.
No way. Yeah, that's not even. I mean, yeah, that's got to be no question at all. Oh. And honestly, remember on Friday, I was saying my biggest concern was that the defensive backs seemed inconsistent. The defensive backfield seemed a little inconsistent. They could make some big plays, but they could also, they could also make some stupid mistakes. And boy, that did not happen. And honestly,
Harrison Smith is.
That's where that drive at the end of the first half meant a lot to me. But go ahead. Yeah.
So Harrison Smith gets in. I don't know what was wrong with him. He tips that ball to Rodgers, the first one, and they were actually moving down the field. I'm like, oh crap! Here we go. Away at 7. They're coming down. But the ability to catch that and go 87 yards was just a game. All of a sudden, wow! What do you know? Then they're coming back down, and he strips that ball. My gosh. I mean, I don't know how a guy hangs on to a football when a full-grown man running at you at 100 just pounds down on that hammer, loses the ball, he scoops that up. That guy single-handed, that game was over at that moment. It was Rodgers' win. I didn't see the after-actions game, but that was just massive.
No, absolutely. That's, to me, and that's that was the dominance because not only were they pick 6, interception and then fumble return, it was when the Bengals were moving the ball.
Exactly. And the other fumble, he also created the other fumble. So it was, they had 4 turnovers. Yeah. But on the other side,
the spirit.
Didn't you talk about it on Friday on the other side? We needed a running game. What happens?
Yep.
I think you said you thought that Mason could have a game.
Mason,
100 plus yards, 2 TDs.
Yep.
he's getting overshadowed by the defensive guy. If that was all we had, that was enough to win the ball game. He had a great game. This was fun to watch.
All around, yeah. That was so it went from, to me, kind of a ugly, but hey, we're winning in the first half to this is now they've just broken their spirit and they're just having fun now.
I don't know that this is mean. This is mean to say. I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. When you get to the fourth quarter and your third string quarterback's in, the route was on. Nothing against Max. Oh my goodness. Like, we're not even going to risk Wentz. My guys were texting back and forth and said, I think you leave him in. Give him another series or two. This is Wentz learning how this all works, but they didn't. So
no, this is
you're good at
this is the perfect situation to give Max some actual game experience.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's because it's very low risk. Even if he fumbles the ball for a touchdown, and that's it's like okay, but he needs to, but he gets the experience in, and which is really honestly the only thing he needs. Now it's not like what 3 or 4 passes is going to be. That's not enough experience. But it gives him a start, and that's the sort of he just needs to get the game experience, and hopefully it won't be because of injuries. That's all I'm saying. So this was perfect. It's not you have to come in and win the game. It's, we're going to give you some experience. So I was thrilled to see. I mean, come on, come on. You get to see Brosmer come in and
Well, we got to go to break. We'll talk. We'll wrap that up. We'll also talk about the other NFC North games coming up right after this with my guy Dan from the end of the bench.
Braver Angels Minnesota is part of a national movement that brings together conservatives, liberals, independents, and others to restore trust, respect, and goodwill in politics. We seek not to eliminate our differences, but rather deal with them head on, with respect and understanding. We do not try to change people's views, but how they view the other side. There will always be differences. Braver Angels Minnesota believes the best way forward is to change how we deal with those differences. Join the civil conversation at mn.braverangels.org.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
We've got him, Dan, from the end of the bench. I appreciate him being here. Defense does it, and it wins championships. I didn't create that conversation, by the way. But it made me wrong most of the weekend. The Browns end up defeating the Packers 13-10. I'm like, how in the world did the Packers lose to the Browns? That defense kept them to 10 points. They scored 13 in the final quarter. The Pack loses. The Pack's got to be mad. They should never have lost that ball game. Your thoughts on that game, quick?
And and the Browns aren't a terrible team, but they're not a. I mean, come on, they'd already had a loss. They're not. This is not. This is not their year. Now, the other big NFC North loss. That one probably could be a little bit more seen ahead, but. Yeah, I'm thrilled. Come on, the Packers, they lost. The Browns pulled it out at the last.
Thank you very much.
Out late. Thank you.
Now, the Bears, on the other hand, I thought the Cowboys were better than this, but the Bears defense kept them nothing in the second half, and they win 31-14. So the Bears win. I got both of those wrong. What does that lead me? Your thoughts on the Bears first? Again, they're weird. They're just a weird team to judge.
You guys both made a lot of fun of me for saying that I thought the Bears were going to win this one.
We did.
I think Dallas is worse than Dallas is worse than everybody thinks. That's kind of where I'm. They're not we all knew that they were not a really good team this year, but I think they were worse than we think. And the Bears are. The Bears are not a good team yet by any stretch of the imagination, but they've got players who can who can make stuff happen. So I'm not shocked. I was thrilled to see that.
The Lions-Ravens tonight gets to be very big then, because just in the standings you could actually see some separation in the North. Minnesota and Green Bay on the top. But if Detroit loses, there's that game and a half behind. I think Detroit could lose tonight.
This is no gimme by any stretch of the imagination. This is the Ravens are good. The Ravens, they are an AFC contender. They're a legit contender in the AFC. So this is I'm wanting to avoid just being the total homer and saying, "Yep, the Lions are going to lose." But honestly, I kind of have a sense that the Ravens are going to take this one.
I don't disagree with you. 100%. We'll talk some Minnesota Lynx quick. They just destroyed the Mercury. They were down at the halftime, but came back, win 82-69. And that Collier gal became second in the polling for MVP behind the Asia Wilson. Yeah. That Asia must be a ball player. I don't watch it enough. Didn't she get Defensive Player of the Week last week? Or tied for it? Didn't we make fun of that?
Yeah, yep.
I think I did.
Was her, fourth MVP?
Yeah. So she must be fourth NBA team, fourth time on Defensive Player of the Year. I guess it's not a shame to be losing out to her, but some Minnesota fans were upset. I think the Lynx got a real shot here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I was seeing some of the breathless notifications coming over on my phone during that game saying that, it's a tight game. The tight game. They're keeping it close. They're losing at halftime and all. And then suddenly it's like, oh, okay. Well, that didn't end up being.
Just need to wake them up a little.
Yeah, all that was apparently it. Yeah.
All right. We're out on Friday, so we'll see you next week. We'll have to talk. Royce Lewis talked a little bit about the fact that he doesn't know if he'll be around next year because he's scared he's going to get traded, as the Twins have traded off everybody. It's in the paper today. Read that up, and we'll talk about whether Royce should be gone. Go ahead. Start getting rid of the people we like now. Just get rid of everybody and see what happens, Twins.
Lopez. The only reason Lopez is going to stay this winter is because he's finishing the season hurt. If he was healthy for this offseason, he would be gone. Yeah.
Got to fly, my friend. Appreciate you'll do it again next Monday. He's Dan from the end of the bench.